Right, Stevie, thanks for joining us. Let's start by talking about the football. A couple of friendlies under the belt, which you'll be very pleased about. Stevie on Saturday, and then Spartans other night as well.
Yeah, obviously strange times that we're facing, Stephen, and to get an 11v11 game against Stevie on Saturday was pleasing in regards to, the boys haven't played football since March, and even in training it's been very difficult, just to let people know out there and the supporters that with the protocols that we've been facing, we haven't managed to do any training at pre-season on anything bigger than half a pitch. So that brings its challenges itself, and that's the reality of what we're facing at the moment. So we managed to get 45 minutes into most of the boys' legs against Stenhousemuir. And then, on Tuesday night against Spartans, we got an hour run out where we gave some boys 60 minutes and the other boys got half an hour. So pleasing on that side that we've managed to get games of football, and it's something that we can build on now.
Despite all the protocols, as you mentioned, and the restrictions, it would still have been pleasing to get your squad together and have a sort of idea of how you're going to shape up for the season as well, and a couple of new faces as well.
Yeah, we've worked on a certain formation that we're going to try and play on for the start of the season, but you've also got to make sure that you've got a plan B as well, and at the moment it's just working on these ideas so that players know their jobs in and out of possession. As you say, we managed to bring in our addition to the squad in Kerr McEnroy, and we're thankful to Celtic that we've managed to bring in a player of his quality. He's got connections with the club as well. He supported Dunfermline as a kid, and he's a player that I've had my eye on for a couple of years, and the timing's right for Kerr to come in and join us and add competition for places in that midfield area. But as I say, we've looked at a few things in the first couple of games already, and we'll use the next 3 games to try and see where we're going to go moving forward.
Just specifically on Kerr, he was obviously Celtic reserve captain last season. He's been in and around the first team as well. And what's he going to bring to the squad?
Well, Kerr's, he's come in, got 45 minutes under his belt, but he's a boy that's got a great left foot. He can score goals from outside the box. He scored a couple of great goals the other night for us as well. But it's something that we have seen in his play. He can play as a box-to-box midfielder. He can play as a holding midfielder, and he was even in and around the Celtic first team squad there over the summer as cover for the left back position. So if needs must, he can fill in there. It's not a position that I want to use him in. But the big thing for us was, even though Kerr's coming from a club like Celtic, he's keen to come here and fight for his place, and that was important. That was it's important to the rest of the squad that they understand that it's not just a shoe in, that somebody's coming from another club to come and be a starter.
Are you expecting to bring in any more players before the Betfred Cup?
We're hopeful that we can add to the squad. We are continually, I've said it, I'm like a stuck record with this one, but we have played a number of trialists in the games as well, but we do keep an eye on other squads. We've said about trying to use the loan market, and if we are going to use the loan market again, it'll be young players that are hungry, that are going to bring something to Dunfermline to get us playing at the top of this league.
Obviously, since the last time we spoke as well, the announcement has been made about the new investors into the club as well. How are you feeling about that? No,
it's great. Ross had kept me in the loop all along, and then obviously with the COVID in March, I think I was meant to be meeting Thomas possibly the week after we first faced this pandemic. They've obviously done their homework on us as an investment group, and the thing is, what they're doing is, in the discussions that I've had with Ross and Thomas, they're here to help us develop as a football club and work as a partnership. They're not here to make big changes, drastic changes. They understand that we're a community club. They've got a feel for the club, and that was important. And Thomas had come across to the Stenhousemuir game. I got a chance to meet him over the weekend and talk things over on the football side of things. And as I say, it's exciting times because they're looking to develop off the pitch as well, which is important for a club like yourselves.
What sort of things are the guys looking to implement on the football side that will help you and the rest of the coaches?
No, I think they're very much in trying to develop people, not just players. So us as coaches, us as a management staff, they've been successful in their own fields. So in terms of recruitment, scouting network becomes bigger. Their own business ideas, innovation, new ideas to help this club progress. And I think Ross openly admitted that the work that's been done here from when we faced the dark old days, so to speak, it's credit to everybody that's been involved in that right throughout the club, from the chairman right through to the supporters. They've always backed the team. When we faced this pandemic, they've put their hand in their pockets, they're supporting the club as they always do. And now we've got help from a group that are definitely wanting to help us progress and look forward, look at training grounds, look at possibly the future for bringing younger players through, so maybe our own academy and that in years to come. So it's exciting times.
In terms of the fans coming back in, it doesn't look like we will be getting fans at East Park or any other stadium for the next week while, at least. That's obviously disappointing news, and it will have an impact financially as well. I'm guessing at this stage it's not going to have an impact on your playing budget or anything like that.
No, I think you can see that with what it does, it obviously makes things more difficult. But again, decisions that we made early during the lockdown period was the protection of the club, and Ross was on record saying that, I've been on record saying that. We now find ourselves in a situation where it's, we're facing the challenges that are out there. The government's had to address certain issues. We have to be respectful of that. It's disappointing because we do want fans in. You listen to managers in the Premiership, that there is a loss, but I thought Stephen Robinson spoke a lot of sense at Motherwell the other day. It's what we're facing, and what we're not giving credit to. We hear the negative stories, but there's a lot of positives to be taken at the moment, and we know that the fans are desperate to get back, and there's nothing better than playing in front of the Dunfermline fans at East Park, but it's what we're facing. Just ask them to be patient and face what they're having to face in every day in life at the moment, and then hopefully they can get to read about it, listen to interviews like this that give some interest in their club, because it's important that there's that connection with the fans.
And finally, back to the football. I'm guessing a few more friendlies lined up before we take on our first Betfair Cup match, and just progressing towards the start of the season, I guess.
Yeah, and as I said, Stephen, earlier in the interview, that to play your first 11v11 game on Saturday after not playing football since March is the reality of what we're facing. We've got a game against East Fife at the weekend. We have to see if the Ranger one is going to go ahead. We play Rangers reserves on Tuesday hopefully, but again with the lockdown at the moment, will that one go ahead? We might have to adjust and play a bounce game amongst ourselves, and then we've got a Stirling Albion game before we go into the Dumbarton game. So as I say, every club's facing its challenges at the moment. We've just got to make sure the challenges we face, we do it with a smile, we do it with a smile on our face, and enjoy our football.